Hello everybody, welcome to ISH Frankfurt 2025. I'm Ovidiu Nicolae, Poșircă, editor-in-chief at Real Estate Magazine, and today we have a very special guest, the CEO of Kludi, Harald Hotop. Harald, thank you for having us here today. I know you're very busy because your stand here is very full. And I want to thank you for taking your time to talk to us about your innovation here. So first of all, what are your main offerings here?
Yeah. So first of all, we are very happy to have you here at the booth. Yeah. So welcome to the world of bath and kitchen in Kludi and at RAG. And we are focusing on all the novelties. Kludi has reinvented itself in the 1.5 last years, and we have really 1,800 new articles in our total portfolio, and we are only showing the top highlights, like especially our new kitchen faucets, which have a new kind of design shape you don't find at the competition. We have invented a new 22mm cartridge to enable very slim and innovative designs with fuse body, so that you don't have any more edges, and the fitting is, besides a perfect functionality and design, also very easy to clean. And another innovation coming up, the first removing hose in the kitchen fitting. So a lot of innovations here at the fair, not only in the kitchen but also in the bathroom area.
And I'm curious, what was the feedback from the visitors in the SIP up to now?
Yeah, we have now the second day here at ISH, and we are very, very positive. As you see, the booth is very crowded. We have very good feedback, especially about our shapes, about our color codings. We are following design trends. We are not only having classical industrial faucets, which Kludi had 3-4 years ago. We are following now the international design trends from soft geometric, soft organic to organic. We are having 7 typical color codings from PVD, powder coating, chrome, and especially on top, we are seeing a lot of new Kludi individual colors coming up. So to create the personal bathroom and kitchen experience to get in the end consumer, the architect, the builder of a house, and of course all our partners and wholesalers and traditional plumber scene.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm curious to know if you are seeing any differences on demand, on trends from European customers compared to others in other regions, for instance, also in Romania. Yeah. Are they looking for something specific?
Yeah, first of all, we have to differentiate the regions in the world. If you're looking to Asia, Asia is very, very, very digital. So the people are brushing their teeth in front of the mirror is telling them, okay, you have to brush here the teeth, etc. We in Europe are a little bit more traditional. We like designs coming from Italy. We are liking shapes. We want to personalize our bathroom. We want to create a feeling in our bathroom to have a wellness center for ourselves. But nevertheless, we are starting to adopt digitalization in all kinds of methods. And we are following now the latest design trends. For example, our design director, Davide Cesca, is coming, of course, from Italy. Okay. Our engineering director is coming from Germany. Okay. And we are trying to combine the best of the best. And we have an international innovation team in digitalization coming from Asia, Middle East, and from Europe. So to incorporate all the design and functionality trends you need in Europe. And in Europe, basically, we see more light, we see more colors, we see more shapes in the bathroom. Really, the personalization of a bathroom, this is what is requested in Europe. And if you go 20 years back, you had basically chrome-colored faucets, and for the very rich people, you had gold-colored fittings. Now, everything is affordable. So everybody can afford a design which is enhancing its bathroom and wellness experience, which is enhancing its kitchen experience. So I think that's a major thing you want to experience.
We talked a little bit about trends, and I'm interested also in your production experience, because you have a long history in this regard. How are you adapting to shaping your manufacturing production to this demand that is quite fast changing? Maybe you want to answer faster to some demands.
So we at Kludi, we will have next year in 2026 our 100th birthday.
Okay.
And of course, we cannot produce as 50 years ago. Yeah. 50 years ago, it was very traditional, workbench, etc. To be honest, in the meantime, to cover all these coatings, to cover all the surfaces, you have to be very inventive. We have invested very heavily, 80 million euros within the last 2 days in the latest technology. For example, in sanitary ware, because Kludi is not only a faucet manufacturer, we will see later, we are a total bathroom manufacturer. In sanitary ware, we have the most modern kiln developed with a German machine producer. And this kiln is now having a specific temperature, it's 186 meters long, to establish a perfect temperature to have a minimal deviation in the natural shapes. On top, we are investing in color coatings like 12 PVD chambers, or our mother company, SRAC Ceramic, it has a new digital printing machine bought KI driven. So with this KI technology, we will introduce in the course of this year the first ceramic basins which look like marble, which are individual. So we are developing and reinventing, and this is only possible with latest technology. If you don't invest in technology, then you have not the possibility to do that. And on top, you have to have a deep look at ESG. Okay. That's very important, because with this kiln, usually all the kilns are working with gas. Now, you know, gas is not renewable energy. That's why we said how we compensate that. We've installed a major solar panel park to produce a lot of energy, renewable energy. And with this, we change water to hydrogen, to green hydrogen. Oh. And this green hydrogen is now firing already 20% of the energy consumption of our kilns. And until 2027, we will 100% green energy in our kilns. What we are working on the future concept is also that we want to do the transport in a green way. There, of course, we need our logistics provider to work with us on a concept. For example, in Germany, we are working very close with DHL. And DHL in Germany is delivering already on a green concept. Okay. And we want to implement that in Romania as well. Okay. So we are looking for active logistics partners to do that. And for us, the Romanian market is of special importance. In Romania, we were always among the 5 top market leaders and brands. And with these new innovations, we hope to become one of the strongest 3 players in the future. And we are investing heavily in our team, in the marketing approach. We are now setting up with partners new concepts to convince our partners to choose Kludi as a premium brand, as their choice.
Okay, and because you had a very interesting take on your technology, how you use it. I was curious to know how you make sure that your staff is using the right technology, adapting to these new changes, and deploying technology to its best use.
If I can use this word supply chain. For us, the supply chain starts always what is the consumer wants. And if the consumer sometimes does not know what he wants in the future, that's why we are working with market research agencies. We have our own design teams, in-house design teams. We are going on fairs, and the bathroom design and the kitchen design are in 99% of the cases driven by the furniture industry. Okay. So the innovation comes usually from the design of furniture, of products in this area. And one of the most important fairs for us is the Salone del Mobile. Yeah. And the Salone del Mobile is giving a real good impression about the future design trends. But it's not the only one. We are going to KBC, we are here at ISH, we are following the latest design fairs, which are also not bathroom driven. In the US, or there's a very, very nice also design exhibition in Rio de Janeiro, which we are visiting, only to get a global design speech of the future. And this we are incorporating in the design speeches of our products. And with the shapes, of course, you need to adapt the production. And here it comes in an interdisciplinary team. Designers are working together with engineers. Engineers are working with tool engineers. Tool engineers are working with the machine industry, which are building these new shapes. And we are always pushing our suppliers, which are giving us the machines and the production technology, to get ahead. Because without advance and innovation, we are dead.
Okay. So you have been adapting for the past century, let's say, and you're still doing it now.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a little bit about ESG and what you're doing in this regard. I'm curious to know how do you see the future of your industry, considering that Europe is sticking to its plan to become carbon neutral by 2050.
Yeah.
What will this mean for our economy, for manufacturers here in Europe?
Yeah, definitely, I can tell you. I mean, Europe has the Net 50 initiative, and our mother company, Ceramics, has adopted this net zero at that 2050 strategy. So we are part of that. We signed an official contract with the UAE government, which is also valid for Europe. Meaning, we are clearly committed to reach the carbon neutral footprint. And as I explained just a minute ago, for example, in the sanitary ware production, we want to reach it much, much earlier, until 2030. The same we are doing in the faucet production. We are looking at different materials. We are looking, does the fitting needs to have brass, zinc die cast, aluminum. We are looking for stainless steel. We are looking for also new materials. There was a great idea of a good scientist. Hey, why we are not producing the new faucets made out of wood to have renewable? So it's a lot of things are changing in the industry. And we get now in a complete new age because 3D printing is getting more and more innovative, more and more cost interested. So I guess that in 10 years we are looking at a complete new production setup, meaning less material, cradle to cradle. So everything has to be recyclable. Everything will be produced with green energy. And what we need now to force, and that's specially developed for Europe because other countries are more advanced in that than Europe, is that the transport gets also green.
Okay.
Because if you look at the transportation, and most of the trucks in Europe are working with diesel. So, and you cannot just replace it from one day to another. So it's not only a commitment of one industry, it has to be a combination of everything. But I and we as a company at Kludi strongly believe if the complete sanitary and kitchen industry and all the surrounding industry are not committed to this ESG target, we have a problem in a complete society. That's our strong belief.
So the future will be green, one way or another.
It has to be. There's no alternative.
Looking forward, you mentioned the geography where you are present. Do you have a specific investment plan for Europe compared to Asia or Middle East, or how do you approach this?
Yeah, we have invested in the last 2 years very heavily in Europe. We have not only created a lot of designs which are specific for Europe, products which are for Europe. We have invested in new showrooms. We have a design hub in London 2 years ago. We have introduced a design hub close to Frankfurt here last year, and we will now open our new design hub in Milano in 2 weeks. So we are working with design hubs. Design hubs are meaning it's not only bathroom products, it's not only kitchen products, it's also about the combination of bathroom, kitchen with surfaces like tiles, which are of course our experience. And if you want, and you are very convinced about our products, you can have a cup of cappuccino or espresso afterwards made out of rug tableware. So that's the best experience. So next time maybe we have to produce our own coffee, that we get the complete surrounding.
Yeah, great. I think I'm interested to find out more about the design of your products here. So we can take a look here if you're okay with that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So we're back talking about design, and I'm interested in finding out more what is your philosophy here at the fair?
Yeah, as we have to follow design trends. What is a design trend? A design trend is either a micro trend or a macro trend. Macro trend is what general the people are following. And the macro trend in Europe, in most of the parts in Europe in the last years, were geometric designs. If you have had a look at kitchens, at bathroom products, everything was geometric.
Yeah.
And basically following that, we are now going in another wave, because it's always a wave falling from geometric to organic designs. And this, however, does not happen in 2-3 months. It's a slow curve from geometric to organic and back to geometric. That's why you have to get in all the designs needed to have a perfect fit for all the customer groups. What we are following is we are combining now hard geometric designs like you see here in the spout with softer designs in the body of the faucet, combined with a few spaces that you don't have a single escutcheon anymore, but you are working as harmonic product. So what we call this is soft geometric. And people who are early adopters are adopting more in a geometric, from a geometric to organic world.
Yeah.
They are basically getting then to the second stage. So here you see that the spout is much more organic already, and the body is even more organic than the soft geometric body. Combined again with a fuse space, which have round shapes already, and an enthusiastic handle, which is shorting in a sportive way, so that these customers, which are more early adopters, can go in the geometric way. And if you go then to the next level of one second please, and you are following very organic designs, then you see that we are in the round world. You have round escutcheons, you have round bodies, you have round spouts, you have only a little bit geometry, and that's in the handle, okay? That's in the handle. So that's a combination of the world. And in September, we will bring then the next generation for the future, which is fully organic. And if you're talking about shapes, what supports the shape? The supporting shape is only as good as the color coding. And you see here, when you look back in the industry, 40 years ago, we had chrome fittings.
Yeah.
Then the matte black came. Then the matte white came. And that was it. Now we are talking about a lot of all kinds of color codings, including PVD, brushed nickel, gunmetal, brushed gold, brushed bronze. We are talking about teal blue and all kinds of variations. And if you're a big project customer and want to have your individual color coding, no problem. We cannot do it for one piece, but for several pieces, everything is possible. And if you want to have BMW on your faucet and BMW allows it, no problem. If you want to have your name, if you allow it and you have a certain quantity, everything is possible today.
We are talking about these products, this line of products, innovative line of products, and I was curious to know if, how are you thinking about your end customer? Let's say your end customer is living in a smart home or a sustainable home. How do you think he or she will decide to install such products?
Yeah, first of all, in the bathroom in Europe, we are a little bit later adopters than in Asia. So if you look at sustainable, and then I come to the fact of smart homes, all the faucets are have reduced water and energy consumption. So we are working on basin mixers with 5 liters, so half of the normal standard or even less. So the end consumers need only to pay half of the water and half of the energy.
Yeah.
That's very important. And if you want to get even more in the digitalization, I show you a showering product.
Okay.
So basically, we are in the new world.
Yeah.
The new world means digital thermostatic driven faucets, meaning they create exactly the temperature what you are used to. You don't need a long time to regulate. They are corresponding with your smartphone.
Okay.
So you can basically, if you enter a bathroom or even before entering your bathroom, you can choose the temperature, you can choose the lighting of the head sprays, you can choose the program, you can do the wellness mode, whatever you like. Okay. You can operate with your smartphone. And not only in this, we are getting now a new kitchen faucet, which is fully digital as well. Introducing in September, coming from boiling water, filter water, sparkling water, everything becomes digital. And if you want to have a look in the future, you're very well invited to join us at KBC in Shanghai, because there we are even more digital. But however, the company is investing really heavily on digitalization, because we strongly believe that we must serve all end consumers. So there's a group of end consumers and a group of end consumers. They are growing up now with smartphones, social media, etc.
Yeah.
And they are early adopters for that. Of course, we have also traditional customers we also must serve. So we must have a complete portfolio for everybody.
And so, as a conclusion, I would say that going green and digital is the key for the future on the long term, if I'm correct. And I'm coming back to Europe a little bit because I'm interested in, we have an issue with the house in stock. It is quite old, we need to modernize it. Do you see growth in this avenue, in this area? How are you responding to dynamics?
Yes, definitely. And I show you what I have showed you the design highlights.
Yeah.
Okay, I showed you the color coding. I showed you what the premium brand of Kludi is.
Yeah.
And I see a strong demand in all kinds of pricing levels. And we have, of course, as our mother company, RUG, is also in the markets, and we are harmonizing our sales teams. We want to do an offer for all customer groups. And the typical bathroom, to give you an example, in Europe, is in the meantime 19 years old. 19.
Okay.
So meaning in some countries even older, and in some countries even newer. And if you do that, give us a second and I show you a complete bathroom which could fit. So basically following a question about future demands and how we can attack the very old bathrooms and how we can create demand. I think the most important one is to convince investors and consumers that the bathroom is a key piece in a house for us. And the bathroom is getting more and more, depending on the country, to a key piece. France is lagging a little bit behind in some perspectives. That means they have also a clientele which is very well addicted to bathrooms, but most of the end consumers are not taking so much care. In other countries, like in Germany, like in Romania, the people are watching more and more in the bathroom and the kitchen. And of course, you need to convince them to invest. And the major thing of this, either, okay, your products are broken, then you need to replace. You have to have solutions. Or you show the investor that creating a nice bathroom is delivering the investor a higher value to sell a real estate or to rent a real estate to a person, or the end consumer to convince them that an investment in a bathroom and a kitchen is worth for his well-being. And you can only achieve that, in my opinion, if you show them a perfect combination of products. The people do not want any problems. They do not want any color mismatches. They don't want anything which is not creating their well-being. Or if they accept that, they don't want to spend a lot. But if they want to spend a little more, everything has to match. So we as Kludi Group said we must have a perfect match. Coming from the faucet, you see here in the shower area, you have the faucet in brushed nickel, you have the shower in brushed nickel, you have the bidet fitting in brushed nickel, you have the push blade in brushed nickel, and even the accessories you have in brushed nickel, and of course the basin mixer. Exactly the same for the sanitary ware. It must fetch to the color coding, and it gives you a well-being in the bathroom. That's of the major importance. And only with this, investors are willing to invest and consumers are willing to spend. And regarding your second question, what are we doing in general to do more? Because not everybody is a rich person. Everybody is a medium paid person. We have also people who have not a lot of money, but they want to have also well-being. Yes, of course, we as a RUG and Kludi Group have a wide offering. That's why our Kludi salespeople have now direct access to all the RUG products to deliver basically all those also products which are more affordable, because Kludi is, a premium brand, and then to find a solution to enhance the speed in bathroom renovation and kitchen renovation.
And one last question would be related to you, actually, as CEO, because the life of an executive is quite tough anyway. It's quite busy. And you have to deal with a lot of information about consumer behaviors, about your plants, your production, your technology. How do you keep up with everything every day?
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges of being a CEO?
Yeah, I mean, I have a perfect team, to be honest. I have a lot of good people supporting me, and we are using more and more KI-driven tools. Because without that, it's more and more hard to get around with this information. As I said, we are using the KI to select market trends. Without studying the market trends intensively, you are not able to do the right decisions for the future. And in the finance, okay, you have algorithms, etc. What are the payment terms? What are the cash income, etc. That's a different topic. And in terms of sales, we are trying to prognose on an automatic way the sales behavior of our customer can shorten the production times in the future and to shorten the way of a product to the consumer. That's the most important thing. But overall, we are one family, and the most worthful is our customer and our own team.
Thank you, Harald, for the great discussion. I hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye.